Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Walt Blackman, a.k.a. Mocha Walt, and Dave Marshall,
I keep mixing that up.
a.k.a. Caramel Dave.
Caramel Dave, yeah.
We are back for another episode this week. And this week, you know what? We're addressing the redistricting maps that are going on right now. They've been going on now for a couple months now, and they're almost done. And so what I'm going to do is turn it over to Walt, because redistricting maps and redistricting is new to me. I'm new to the political arena. And so I'm going to turn it over to him and let him start sharing about this redistricting that's happening right now.
So, hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining the show. Remember to click that subscribe button to the America First Brothers on YouTube, and also go to our Facebook. And then we're going to be coming out on the Tumblr, whatever that thing is.
Rumble.
We're
going to be opening up on the Rumble page.
We're going to be opening up a Rumble page, so just go ahead and subscribe and click to that. And we are going to be talking about some interesting things today, and it's about the redistricting map. So every 10 years, based on the census, the redistricting maps come out. So in some states, the legislators actually work that. Some states, the governor does it. And in our state, it's a commissioning. So it's the IRC, Independent Redistricting Commissioning. And typically on the board, really quickly, you'll have two Republicans, two Democrats, and an independent.
And that's what we have on this board.
And that's what we have on this board. The key is the independent. So some years, 10 years ago, they had an independent that was more a Democrat, liberal. So you saw, the way the lines were prior to 10 years, that's what you saw. You saw it was gerrymandered to the Republican or Democrat base. Now, this time, the commissioner or the chair, I don't really know which way she's going. However, based on the what I've seen in the redistricting hearings, she's actually doing it the right way. Communities of interest, and to make sure that the population spread throughout the districts are correct. So we have two types of redistricting maps. We're talking about the legislative district maps, which it affects a lot of my friends that are in the House right now. It affects you, Dave.
Affects my run.
Affects your run, and it is version 8. So 8 is the latest version. By the time a week comes out, we may have another version. But however, the maps at this point are not going to change so much. So you're going to see a map on the side of the page there, and it's the legislative test map version 8.0. So we have 30 districts in our legislative district, so that makes sense. We have 60 House of Representative members, and we have 30 senators to represent all of our 30 districts. So folks up in the northern area that are used to the district that I ran in LD6. LD6 is still a district, but it has changed somewhat. And it has taken out a lot of the current LD6 that I'm running on and changed that LD6 to LD7, which Dave's going to be running in, which is going to be very good for him. Because if you look at the redistricting map, that map, LD7, is just dark red. But that's the culture up here, Dave, because people who want the Second Amendment, people who want the church, people who want freedom of speech, and pro-life. That is, and then the rural aspect of it. So 7, if you look at the version map 7, that shows a real good example of communities of interest, because it's all the same. So I'm just got to put on my spectacles.
But what changed about from 6 to 7, real quick, because I've been watching this and I have copies of it, is that LD7, the new LD6, which is LD7, will stretch all the way down to Santan, Florence, Globe, Superior. So it's going more south than it is spreading like east and west.
Yeah, I mean, it goes all the way down. So we'll start with 6, though. So 6 goes up into Tuba City, all the way up to Page. It crosses over all three, of the Navajo Nation, not all three, but the Navajo Nation, over to going to the east to Kayenta, and then going somewhat south. It's going down into the Hopi Reservation. And then as you come over to the west a little bit, a difference, and CD LD6 is Flagstaff. Some of Flagstaff is actually
all a flag.
Yeah, Flagstaff is no longer in our current district.
No.
So if you're watching, you can't move. If you said you live in Flagstaff last time when you didn't, you got a house down there in Mesa. I don't know. I'm just saying. So what that means, I had to put that out there.
I know you did.
I had to put that out there because people like to jump around and say, I'm over here now. No. So Flagstaff is no longer part of the CD LD6 now, but it is it'll be in the new LD6, but those other towns that you're going to be representing, they're not part of LD6. They're part of LD7. So LD7 right now is gerrymandered more for Democrats because they have 2 Democrat House of Representative members and 1 Democrat senator, both from the reservation. Nothing wrong with that. However, it wasn't the proper representation off of the reservation.
No, it wasn't.
So now it has actually, 7. They've kind of picked that up and they put Flagstaff into their district, and 7. And it goes all the way down. And Dave, you got to be glad you don't have this one right here because, hey, Mr. Bear, we're on LD6. And so it goes all the way down. When Dave was talking about it doesn't just go east to west, it's going south. And look, it's like a little boot going through. We got lakes. It goes below Lakeside Pine Top, below Show Low, south of Show Low, and then it skirts, if you look at the 60, coming across the 60, it goes to White River, and then it goes to the San Carlos Reservation. So this is a dark blue district now.
It is.
6 is a dark blue district. Fortunately, you're not running in that district. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, what it was is that the reservation wanted to stay whole.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep all the reservation together. Matter of fact, if you scroll up and go north and then go west, you run down to Mojave.
Yes, you do.
Runs all the way down to Mojave. So what the idea was that the Indian reservation, the Native American reservation, wanted to keep the entire reservation whole. So you have the Apaches, you have the Navajo, the Hopi, and it goes all the way down, whatever. I don't know what tribes are down in Mojave County, but it keeps them all whole with the exception of Winslow and Flagstaff that are also thrown into that.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, the demographics of this are just incredible. So I just touched on the demographics of Coconino County, which is which will be the new LD6. We're talking about the Hispanic population is 15%. White alone is 53%. Black or African American alone is a whopping 1.2%. And then as it goes into the Native Americans, that's 24.2%, which we know typically across the board, the dashboard, that Native Americans typically vote Democrat.
Yes.
So that is that's a blue district. So as we talk about LD7, we're not going to go through all the LDs. We're just going to be talking about some of the major ones, and 7 is a major one because David's one, and I really want folks to really understand where he's going to be running and where his where the boundaries are at for Dave. So in LD7, the current population over 328,000 people. That is a lot of people in your district, over 328,000. So we drilled down on this on LD7. Of course, you don't have Flagstaff, okay? You work your way. Let's work our way over here. Let's start on the west. So on the west, you got Williams, okay, which Williams is a dark red.
Yes, it is.
Dark red, conservative-based, God-loving, conservative Second Amendment town. Mayor Williams is the town of he's the mayor of Williams. He's been great guy, been there a while. You go along the 40, you go east along the 40. Again, it dips out of Flagstaff. Flagstaff is taken out of there because Flagstaff is part of 6. You go down the 40, then it hooks up into Winslow. And talk about that really quick.
Well, again, Winslow is not in 7.
No.
Winslow's not in 7. Winslow also is very blue. And so, majority there is Native American in Winslow. Yeah. So they kept that also. and 6. But they went down east again to Holbrook, but Holbrook was put back into 7.
Okay, so and that's not too bad because so Holbrook is kind of a split.
It is.
You know, you got a 50-50 split or a 50-49 split in Holbrook, but it's good. But just in the population we're talking about for Navajo County, 106,000 people in Navajo County. So we're talking about the whole collective there. Again, we're looking at the numbers. Hispanics are 10%, and that white non-Hispanics are 42%. African Americans alone are 0.6%.
That's me, you, and Mr. Beard.
Yeah, hey, we part of that 0.6%.
That's pretty sad. We haven't even reached 1%.
So here it is. When we go to our event tonight, if Marcus doesn't go, what is that? 0.1?
No, I think it was 0.3.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. Marcus, you're famous. We got to get a new name for him, man.
You just blew it, man. His name is Mr. Beard. You keep calling him Marcus.
His name is not Marcus. His name is Mr. Beard. You did not hear that. So I mean, I'm really excited about your district in 7. So it goes across there. You have Holbrook, as you talked about. You come south on the 77, you run into Snowflake, and then something new. It picks up Show Low. It picks up Pine Top Lakeside, which are dark conservative red, and it's off the reservation. And that's key right there. And that is going to push Dave into an R+9 district. Last year when I ran, it was a D+1. No, R+1. So he has an extra 7 Republican votes, not just 7, but we're talking about the formula percentage. He has an extra 7% that have voted last election that are likely to vote this election that are in these 2 areas of Show Low and Pine Top Lakeside. Then as we skirt across, we look at Show Low, we go down 260 east.
Well, actually, you want to go back. You want to keep going east.
Oh, yes. You want to?
What we have, when you keep going east, you go northeast, you have Round Valley.
Yep.
You have St. John's. You have Concho. You go across I think it's 190 or 180.
Yeah, 180.
180.
We both got our glasses.
You come down 180, and then you go to. I got Walmart glasses, man.
I got VA glasses. So
and you end up in Round Valley. You have Springerville. You have Eager. And then you shoot back down to through the 260 to Pine Top Lakeside, and you continue going west, and you'll come across. If you go far west, we didn't get Sedona in. Sedona, you got Williams, and then you come back.
No, you got Sedona.
No. I'm bringing it. We didn't say that when we were over here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm just bringing back attention. When you go back far west, you have Williams. When you come back a little bit east and you jot south, Sedona is also in the picture still.
Yep.
And so now you're cruising down through Sedona. We're in Gila County, where we have Payson. Payson's still in the picture, but then we continue going south. We're taking, you're going down 288. You're ending up in Globe.
Yeah, yours goes all the way down to Globe. Down
Superior.
To yeah.
Kearney.
Florence.
Coolidge. Also Apache Junction. Part of Apache Junction, not all of it.
The east part of Apache Junction. And then you just, I mean, I like the, you have the Globe aspect in there because that's a lot of red votes down there.
We also have Santan in Florence.
Okay. All right. And some of these, you got Sonora, you got Reed Junction, you got, like you said, Kearney, Christmas, you got
Hayden.
Yeah. You've got all these red
Dudleyville
districts, towns, and 7 that's going to make sure that we are able to secure that seat in 7, in LD7. So in Pinell County, for example, 425,000 Pinell County, 76% are 18 years or older. So 76% of those folks are going to vote, hopefully. The breakdown, Hispanic 28, white American is 56, Latino 4.9, and then again, do we got any brothers on there?
Oh yeah, 4.9.
They need to move. We need to move some of them up here where we had 0.6.
We're getting them up here. They just haven't been counted.
Yeah,
they're coming from California.
Yeah. So LD7 is a really good district. So want to go over this again really quickly. If you live in the area, the towns that we were talking about, and I'll go through them again, and Dave comes through your town to ask for, signatures or what have you. If you live in Williams, if you live in Winslow, Snowflake, Taylor, Holbrook, Show Low, Pine Top, St. John's, Eager. That's going to be a long drive for you, brother. I'm just saying.
Florence is a long drive.
Florence, Payson, and Payson always Sedona. And the thing about it, which is cool about this, is that when you look at the Sedona, you got Strawberry again too. If you look at Sedona, you don't have West Sedona, and West Sedona typically is blue. So you have the eastern part of Sedona that is red. So if you know anything about the CCA, Concerned Citizens of America, Andrea and Dwight Kadar run that.
Awesome people.
Yeah, awesome people.
Awesome.
And we're going to have Andrea on here one day. She's going to be talking about the human trafficking deal. When you look at West Sedona, it's blue. It's blue. And then East Sedona is red, and that's where a lot of this group that I was talking about.
I didn't know that Sedona was split on this map.
Yeah. If you look at it, yeah. So, I'm not sure, Mr. Beard, if you can zoom in.
Yeah, you're right.
So there you go. So you don't have to worry about West Sedona. East Sedona is going to be yours, it carries red all the time, and you got some really good supporters down there. If you live in Payson, you live in Globe, Florence. Those areas right there are all part of Legislative District 7.
Oh, Payson. When you stop Payson, I love Payson. Payson is probably one of my favorite places.
Payson will make or break it.
Well, Payson people,
they don't play.
I love them there. Yeah. But you know what I love better?
Yeah.
Mike's Fish and Chips.
Oh man!
Throwing in a little plug for Mike's Fish and Chips because it is awesome.
Are you endorsed by them? Something like
no,
that?
I'm not.
You wear sneakers or something?
Let me see. Nope, not yet.
So again, we're not going to talk about all of the districts because it's a lot of districts. It's 30 districts. Typically, we would go through these, and we'll talk about some of these as we go along. But I just wanted to talk about 7. 7 is the largest district, basically, other than District 6. Yeah. 7 is the second largest district, and it's we're talking land mass. We're talking the second largest district in the United States. It's a large district, a lot of people there, covers a lot of ground. Cover some really good conservative areas and towns, and within that, there's some really good independent votes that come out of there that I saw come out of Payson and also Williams that you'll be able to gather up, and that's a good deal. So, if you want to see where your legislative district is, go to www.irc-az.maps.arcgis.com. That's www.irc-az.maps.arcgis.com. You go to there and you click on the legislative map number 8, and it will bring up your district. And wherever you live, you can see where your boundaries are, and you can see how that is drawn up, or you can just watch the hearings. The hearings are still going on, right?
Hearings are going on today.
Okay.
But again, nothing's really changed. Matter of fact, they were dealing with more of the Phoenix area today than anything else.
Yeah. You mean the great state of Maricopa?
Yes.
You mean those folks?
Yes, sir.
The great state of Maricopa. And I got to tell you, there's some Democrats that are mad down there, boy. They don't like the way the maps are turning out. They don't like that. But, they did that to us 10 years ago. Shut up and sit down.
Now we're going to your district, CD1.
CD1. And, again, we're not going to talk about all of the districts in the CDs because it's a lot. We're going to be talking about CD2. And then I'm just going to touch on District 6 and a little bit of District 7 because we got some competitors down that way. So District 2, District 2 is going to be –
where you're in?
District
CD2.
CD2. CD2, Mr. Beard. So CD2 it will be the new CD1 with some differences. CD1 is our current congressional district now. We've got Do Nothing Tom O'Halloran that is occupying a seat there, and he hasn't done much but write letters to people. I don't know. That's a different subject. That's on the debate. We can talk about that in the debate, Tom. However, CD2 is large. It is the size of Pennsylvania. I could run for governor.
Yeah.
Think about it.
If we cut it east-west,
I could be the governor.
you have your own state.
I could be the governor of CD2.
So now we'll start calling you, you know what? No more Mocha Walt, but Governor Walt.
Governor Walt.
Governor Walt. Just for today.
Of CD2.
Just for today.
Just for the day. Rocking and popping. So really quick, this is a really good district also for us. And so CD2 actually covers, or LD6, my current district now, covers 80% of CD2. So that's really good for me, and I really like that. If we go up north again, it's basically the same as your new district, CD7, covers Page, Kayenta, Tuba City. If you go down the 89, it runs into Flagstaff, but you don't cover Flagstaff, so you don't really have to concern yourself about that too much. It covers Williams, of course, Prescott, Payson, and Sedona. But I get all of Sedona, so I'll get those. I'll have to work hard to try to get those votes on the west side. The west side goes down to White River, Pinetop Lakeside, Eager, Show Low, Snowflake, and of course Holbrook. So in a nutshell, if you can see it on your computer, it's the big blue map. It covers basically 3 counties. It covers Apache County, it covers Navajo County, it covers Coconino County, and then they threw something in there for Grins. It also covers Gila County, which we already have in our district, and then it covers parts of Graham County, and then it covers parts of Pinell County. So it is a large district. And with this new map right here, District 2, it's actually a Republican 8 instead of a Democrat 3 right now, which is CD1. Now, if you take a look at CD1 now, how they changed it, CD1 is like down there in Maricopa. So I imagine that CD1 is going to probably be, I don't know, maybe some Democrats, maybe a Democrat district. I don't know, but the CD1 has Cave Creek, it has Camp Creek, Fountain Hills, Paradise Valley. So no, that's Anthem. That's red. I mean, that's going to be a tough competitive race. That's a competitive district, but that is a district that I think a Republican could win in. Okay. And then just really quickly, CD5, I want to talk about CD5. CD5 is down in, and I'll let you jump on here and talk in a minute, Dave.
You go for it.
Okay. CD5 is down. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. CD6. So CD6 is down like in Safford area, Oro Valley, those types of areas down in Graham County. CD6 down there where another competitor lives and should be running and not running in my district of CD2, but we'll see. And it just kind of wraps around into the southern part of Florence and going over to Casa Grande. So these districts that they have drawn out on the CDs are very, very competitive. And then, of course, we have CD7, which is Geraldo. Looks like that may be Geraldo's district, who's in office right now. Now, some folks are kind of concerned about Andy Biggs, Debbie Lesko, and Paul Gosar. Those folks, they're safe in their districts. How they've been mapping them out, and I see them getting back in office. They're going to be in some red districts. So we're going to do pretty good. We have a good opportunity to flip the House back under conservative control with this new district map. So if it doesn't change too much, I would dare to say that there are going to be a lot of Republican pickups this midterm. And plus, with everything that Biden's doing, the failed economy, Afghanistan, high prices on inflation, we know that even some Democrats are tired of Biden and his.
There's some Democratic pollsters out this past week that they're expecting upwards of 22 seats flipped in the House.
Wow.
They're expecting.
Is one of those AOC?
I don't know, but AOC's got another AOC 2.0 running against her.
What?
Yes.
Is she a bartender too? Or he a bartender? Is he a bartender?
Homeless.
What?
Homeless.
No, shut the front door. No.
He was homeless. You have to see a story. He was homeless. He pulled himself out of the gutter, went to school, educated himself.
That is so awesome.
And he is a brother.
Is he a Republican?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Oh, man. That's going to be a race to watch. And see, that's the beauty about our country. You got a guy who was homeless. He pulled himself up. Now he's running for office in the United States House of Representatives. My hat's off to whoever this gentleman is. My hat's off to you. Great job. I mean, that's an example that more people can read. They should look at.
Definitely.
Now, I'm not going to lose any sleep if AOC gets booted out of office.
I don't think anybody's going to lose any sleep, even her constituents.
Yeah, because what was that?
She's done nothing for them.
She's done nothing for them. There was a big tech company that was supposed to come into her district.
Yeah, what's it called? Amazon.
Now, come on now.
What, 100,000 jobs or something like that?
You don't need that.
No, we don't need no jobs here.
We don't need 100,000 jobs here in New York. Just you be fine.
We'll keep you on your EBTs.
Yeah, and we'll just, I don't know, you're good. And I mean, see, that tells you right there. Either she didn't know, okay, or she did know and she just didn't care. But see, people want to work. Even people that support Democrats, they want to work and they got to pay their bills. They got mortgages to pay. And then when you have a legislator that gets into office that turns down that type of opportunity for the people to live in their district, that's despicable to do that. Yeah. And now there are still a lot of people out of work. And where did Amazon go? Did they go? I wish they'd come to Snowflake.
I'm trying to remember where they did. I can't remember where they went, but they did go to another state.
They're gone. All those jobs, all that. And see, it's just not the jobs. It's the increased revenue. It's the TPP that's going into their budget. It's going into their recurring revenues that they receive every year. That is money that district could have used for education. Left's always talking about education. Yeah. Okay, K through 12 funding. More money could have gone into education with their funding. I mean, just so many things. And then we get the Democrats, AOC, who knows nothing at all about policy, goes in there and turns down that deal. And now we've got a good guy who's running. So do we know anything? You know anything about this guy?
I don't know. Let me see while you're talking. Let's see if I can find him.
Yeah. So we got a guy who's running now who pulled himself up from his bootstraps, was homeless, and now the guy is running against AOC in that district, in the same district that she actually turned away availability and opportunities to work. And if we're talking about that, we had the Navajo County generating station, power station, and Tom O'Halloran made a pledge that he was going to keep that open, and it closed. And as a result of that, it closed down the Navajo generating station. 40% of Native Americans have left the reservation because of that, because they're trying to find jobs. So that is another example of how Democrats are not doing the right thing. And AOC is one of them out there in the eastern New York, and also Tom O'Halloran out here in our district. He's our current person sitting in office. They're not doing what is good for the people. They're doing what is good for themselves. And it makes sense because a couple of weeks ago, AOC showed up on the cover of some magazine or paper with some flashy dress with dollar signs on it, tax the rich. So, that's what she does. So the reason why it's important to understand and know what the maps look like is because a couple of reasons. One, petitions to sign, and number two, who you're going to donate, so on and so forth. So this is what I would tell you. So we wrote a law last year that allows a person to sign a petition if they're in another district that is currently the present district that they're running in. So right now, my petition paperwork say candidate for Congressional District 1. Okay, that will change. But anybody who is in Congressional District 1, they may not be in Congressional District 1 later on. They may be like in 6 or 7. You sign my petitions, you can still sign my petitions and those count because it was in the original CD1. The same with the LDs, you can do that. So that's a way you can do that. And then the other thing, we both are candidates. We both need to be able to fundraise. We both need to raise a lot of money for our campaigns. I've heard so many times people say, well, I'm not going to donate because I don't know where the lines draw. So that really is not a real good excuse of not to donate because, number one, regardless of where you live, if we're able to flip the House, the United States House of Representatives, then we'll be able to get some advantages and benefits out of that by having a government that is checked. You know, we got some real checks and balances. We don't have overspending, so on and so forth. So if you can donate to some folks. So I'm gonna turn it over to Dave right now. He's going to talk to us about the guy running against AOC.
Well, there's quite a few people running against her in both parties.
Oh, man.
But this one gentleman, actually, his name is Israel Ortega Cruz, Puerto Rican-born Republican, describes himself as a defender of the homeless in New York City.
Wow.
And has been critical of what he says are Ocasio-Cortez socialist policies.
AOC. And she is a bona fide socialist Democrat. That's what they call them now. Socialist Democrat Party or something like that. But she's on record of saying that that's what she is. And
well, you have the squad, then you have the progressive Democrats. They're all separate groups in there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of infighting right now within those groups.
Yeah, within the squad and all these things. And they're holding Nancy Pelosi at hostage, basically.
Yeah.
You know, they're holding her hostage. You know, you got AOC, who's a second year representative down there, and I think she's chairing a committee. Is she chairing a committee?
Yes, yes.
She's chairing a committee. Come on, a second year member down there chairing a committee, you know. And I'm not saying she is not smart enough to do that, because you know you get people to say that. But what I am saying is that's how much power that group has over the speakership right now. Because if Pelosi didn't put her in a position, guess what? She wouldn't be the speaker. You may not be the speaker in 2023 either. I just want to let you know. Go ahead and start packing up your office just in case. So, do we got the guy that?
Yeah, I'm trying to look for him right now. It doesn't. I can't find him right now.
And that's just amazing. That's just amazing that we've got people that are stepping up like this guy and that are willing to put it on the line and run. And this guy, I mean, my hat's off to him, man. I mean, really, guy comes up from the streets and homeless, and he's running against one of the more socialist dictators of that district. That in the history of that district, possibly, and that's what I call it, because she's done nothing for her district or New York, to say the least. So,
well, basically, today we wanted to go over the maps with you and stuff. We can go on, but it's a AOC lot. and what's happening is another topic.
That's another topic.
We'll be bringing that topic up too, especially about the issues with. The economy. The economy is in a tank right now. And so we'll be talking about that. But we hope that through Walt going over the maps with you gives you an idea of how the redistricting is happening and where CD2 will become CD1 and how large that is, where he'll be running for office in CD1. So you got to remember that. He'll be going to CD1.
No, CD2.
CD2.
Yeah.
CD2 real soon. So, really?
Yeah, CD1 is now, but it'll turn out to be
Okay.
CD2, and then CD1 is closer.
I stand corrected.
Maricopa County.
He'll be going from CD1 to CD2.
Yes.
I'll be going from LD6 to LD7.
Yes.
We gave you a little outline. You saw the maps on your screen.
And then again, you can go to these maps.
Yeah, and gave you the website.
Yeah, you go to the map, and then you can even punch in your address or your location wherever you live, and you can see the lines, and you can kind of see who may be your representative. However, the problem with some of this right now, I'm not sure, Mr. Beard, if you're still on it. The problem with some of these is some of these LDs. This is the CD map, but some of the LDs we were talking about, they overlap some of the folks that are already in there. So you're going to have some people running against each other.
Yeah.
In the primaries, and that are in these competitive districts, and I've spoken to a lot of lawmakers, and some of them are kind of concerned about that, and I would be concerned too. However, when you live down in the great state of Maricopa, that's what happens. You're piled up on each other, and these lines they're drawn in such a way where some folks that are in office now that are basically in there as a team, senator. And two House members, they may end up running against each other, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Well, I think also in 7, doesn't LD7 pick up a Senate seat?
Yes, it does. It does. I'm glad you brought that up. So with the current person in LD6 now, the Senate seat, that seat has been drawn out of LD7. So the current member in LD6 Senate seat, where she lives, that has been drawn out. That's Flagstaff. Okay, so what's going to happen now is once these maps get finalized, you're going to see a seat that opens up in LD7.
Yeah,
because that person has been drawn out. Now, I would hope that person who's been drawn out of the LD6 into LD7 are.
LD6.
Yeah. Okay. The person who's been drawn out of the current, that's going to be the new LD7. I would hope that they run in their district, because they did make a fuss about them being a resident of Flagstaff. Remember?
Yes.
Made a big deal about them living in Flagstaff, and everybody said, okay, you live in Flagstaff. Now it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Are they going to jump districts, or are they going to go to another place in the state to run? However, I would hope that, as for the sake of the party, that this person run where she lives, and she clearly lives and proved, and whatever she did, lives in Flagstaff. Your new district will be LD6, which is Flagstaff.
Now, in order to jump ship and go to another district, you have to live in that area for a year, right?
For a year. You got to live there for a year. So I want to make that clear. For LDs, they got to live there for a year. So it's going to be kind of hard. And this is for anybody. This isn't just for the Flagstaff seat. This is for any district in Arizona. If a person finds himself in a legislative district that has turned blue, they cannot jump ship. Well, I mean, you can jump ship, but you're going to have to wait till the next cycle, because we're within a year of the primary.
Yes.
Yeah, we're within a year of the primary. So it's too late. You're going to have to run in the seat that's been drawn, that you have, and then to move somewhere else is. But we've seen it. People have said, oh, I live in this district now. You're like, oh, okay, well, all right. So hopefully these people will stay in their districts, and they don't. That was my phone. Don't worry about it. That was. Hopefully these people stay in their district, and they don't do a lot of seat jumping, and because that's what we do to each other. We jump on each other, and then we lose in the primary, or we'll win in the primary, but we lose in the general. And that's key. Who can win the general? It's not who can win the primary. It's who can win the general. And typically in these races, in the congressional and the legislative races, and you could probably add to this, Dave, I mean, we're not really talking about the maps anymore, is that in primaries, we see that Republicans beat each other up in the primaries, and the one who goes the farthest right typically wins. However, in the general, the demographics are different. 30-30-30, okay, with Republican, Independent, and Democrat. So there's 30% of votes that they're leaving on the table because they went so hard right. So when you are voting for your primary candidate, you need to think about, can that candidate win in the general?
Yeah.
Okay? And if they can't win in the general, it makes no sense to vote for them in the primary, because we basically just threw away a vote because of the way the state is now. We're in a dark red state like Florida, doesn't really matter. But the state that we're in now, no matter how the lines are drawn, those numbers are not going to go away. Those numbers are going to stay the same. What do you think about that?
You're right. I told you. You know more about this than I do.
Oh, no. But I would say that, though. So if you have a primary in your district or wherever you're running, you got a candidate you like, but you got 5 candidates running against each other, you need to think about, can that person win in the general? And because we're wasting votes, and we do that. We beat each other up in the primary. Who was more hard right than the other person, and the other person gets slapped around in the general. And we end up having a liberal Democrat, because that person is the public can stand them more than the person who is off the hinges.
Yeah. No, I'll tell you right now, right? Representative Walt Blackman has been mentoring me since about March of this year, and he still continues. That's why I say, well, I'm still learning as I go. This is new to me. You know, I've never been in politics, but for love of God and love of country, I am now.
And if you look at, I know Dave's a real big constitutionalist. He knows Constitution, but if you look at the founders weren't professional or career politicians.
No.
So John Adams, I think I don't know what party he belonged to. I think he was a Whig, or I'm not sure if he was a Whig or what have you. But the party he belonged to, he served as a citizen legislator, and then went back home to his farm. George Washington did the same thing.
A lot of them did.
Yeah, he served his 4 2-year terms as a president and went home. And the majority of the founders who wrote the Constitution, that sacred document, they were citizen representatives. They go serve, and they would go home. So Dave made a comment about he's learning, and he's not a career politician, which he is not. That's how the Constitution was built, not to have career politicians that are in seats like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all those folks in 30 plus years. Biden's been there longer than Christ was a private, and he's still fallen over himself. So this is I can't believe I just said
I know.
that. Yeah, well, we're in church. We're in the church. So yeah, we're not. Well, technically not in the church. We're in the community center. However, we have to look at that. I mean, and we're reelecting the same type of people in the office, and we're expecting different results.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like, Dave, you're a pastor, and you give a sermon, don't sin, I guess, and you go out and sin, and then the consequences are so much that you can't, recover from. But Dave already told you got to change what you're doing, because if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, the same results.
You're going to have the same results. So, I mean, it's like voting. If we continue to vote the same way and continue to do the same way, guess what? We're going to have the same result. I'm going to have to send Dave to your church or to the community. He's going to give you a blessing and do all your stuff. then next time you'll probably know. But we have to change the way we do business. I mean, we can't just sit around and do the same thing.
And, and one of the things, too, is real important. I'm hearing a lot of people going, well, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to vote this year because my vote didn't count. Well, you know what?
Oh, my God.
This is probably one of the most important elections in my lifetime.
Yeah.
And I'm old. Okay?
Yeah, he's old.
It's most important election in my lifetime.
He's old. 42 minutes.
42 minutes? Okay, we're going to cut it right here. But this is important.
So wait a minute. He fell asleep on the job.
Yeah, he did. This is important. He's playing a game over there on
the
computer.
You played a game over there, Mr. Big? We went over about 12 minutes. About 12 minutes
But anyway, guys, your vote does count. And there has been laws that have been put in place in Arizona, and there's more laws that are coming to protect our integrity of our voting, and that also don't let anybody tell you that your vote doesn't count. Your vote will count. Because if you think that your vote don't count and you don't vote, and we lose the House, we lose the Senate, and I'm talking about federally and state.
Yeah.
Oh, we're over. We're done.
And that's what the left wants.
Yeah.
That was one of their plans. 2 more minutes, Mr. Baird. 2 more minutes.
Okay, we got 2 more minutes.
We're going to
let Mocha Walt close it out.
But if we think about it, I think that was one of their plans, to disrupt the election process so much that will reduce confidence in people going to the voting booth.
A lot of discouragement.
And that's what we see, because we're out on the road a lot, okay? And the people we talk to, well, at least somebody's going to say, why go vote?
Yeah.
Why go vote?
Yeah.
And the message, as Davis said, you have to get out there and vote, because if you don't vote, for sure, we're going to give them a victory for sure. And we are doing exactly what they want. It's all an agenda. I said it on Fox last week. It's all an agenda from the left. And if we don't clamp down on this agenda, we don't get out and get involved, like you said, we're going to have a country that is nothing like that we know of today or the last 10 years.
You'll never recognize
You will not recognize this country. I'm Walt Blackman. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please go to the subscribe button. Just go there and click that button there on your screen and subscribe. Send it to your friends. Share it to your friends. The America First Brothers. We're going to be at you again
Next week.
Next week. I forgot where I was going. Next week.
Hey, so thank you for spending time with us today.
Yes. Oh, real quick. Since we can't think of a name for Mr. Beard, let's do a challenge. So we want you to send in your name for our producer guy. So we call him Mr. Beard because we can't think of him. So send in the name. Matter of fact, send in the name. Oh, it's some other shirt I got. But send in a name, and if it's a cool name, right? If it's a cool name, we'll name him that name. And if we change it every week, we'll change it every week.
There we go.
So when you watch this, send in your name for Mr. Beard, and then and you can't use Mr. Producer because that's Mark Levin. He uses that. He can't. But you can use Jerry Curlman.
Want to be Michael Jackson?
Want to be Michael Jackson? Moon.
Okay, hey,
We're done. Take care.
Done.
God bless everybody.
God bless you and God bless America.